welcome to This Explainer. Look, we've got to talk about a really frustrating truth today, which is why your current core routine is probably completely failing you. Because if you've been putting in the work but seen absolutely nothing in the mirror, trust me, you are not alone. So today, we're going to dismantle the fitness myths and show you exactly how to build thick, visible abs using real, proven biomechanics. You know the feeling, right? You're putting in the effort. You're sweating. You're grinding it out on the floor every single morning, maybe knocking out hundreds of sit-ups. But then you stand up, look in the mirror, and there are absolutely zero results to show for it. It feels like a massive waste of time. And honestly, that's because it probably is. Most popular core exercises are just a pure illusion. Which brings us to a crucial concept, what we call the burn illusion. This is exactly what's tricking you. You do some chaotic core circuit, and your abs are absolutely screaming. You feel that deep, fiery burn. But here's the reality check. Feeling your muscles scream does not automatically mean you're triggering hypertrophy. A burn is just a burn. It doesn't mean you're actually building the muscle tissue required for visible abs. And this highlights our first major hurdle, the massive difference between endurance and true hypertrophy. Exercises like the classic static plank are fantastic if you want core endurance. They literally teach your body how to survive under tension. But if we're talking about building thick, visible abs that actually pop, planks are terrible for that. You aren't contracting and overloading the muscle, you're just holding on for dear life. Get this, 9 hours. That is the current world record for the longest plank. Think about that for a second. Once your body can hold an exercise for minutes or even hours on end, you are firmly in the endurance zone. You are no longer growing muscle. If your ab workout starts needing a lunch break halfway through, we've got a serious problem. So, what else are we getting wrong? Well, think about beloved, incredibly popular moves like bicycle crunches, mountain climbers, and basic crunches. For the most part, they're a waste of time. Why? Because they rely overwhelmingly on momentum rather than actual, deliberate muscle contraction. You go fast, you get sweaty, but you aren't actually pulling against any heavy resistance. You're basically letting gravity and momentum do all the work while your abs take a vacation. There's this quote I absolutely love that hits the nail on the head when it comes to the bicycle crunch. It calls it chaotic cardio pretending to be an abs exercise. I mean, let's be real, 99% of people doing this move are just wildly flailing their elbows back and forth and aggressively yanking on their own necks. Sure, you feel a burn after 20 seconds, but as we just established, the burn is real, but the gains are completely imaginary. You can't add weight to it, so it just leads to a dead end. This brings us perfectly to our list of F-tier disasters, the absolutely useless movements. First up, mountain climbers, which usually just evolve into a floor-flailing mess with your hips bouncing everywhere. Then dumbbell side bends. Think about the physics here. Leaning side to side with two equally heavy dumbbells literally cancels out gravity. And dead bugs? Okay, they're fantastic for physical therapy or for grandmas needing basic coordination, but they offer zero stretch and zero overload for hypertrophy. Section 1. The biomechanics of growth. What actually works? Just like building a massive chest or huge biceps, your core needs 3 specific things to grow. Number 1, progressive overload, meaning you have to pull against increasing weight. Number 2, range of motion, getting that full extension. And number 3, a deep stretch, where you're crushing the contraction at the very bottom of the movement. Without these 3 elements, you're pretty much choosing to have flat abs forever. Let's compare 2 movements to see this in action. Think about the basic viral crunch. The range of motion is literally the size of a postage stamp. You're getting zero stretch and mostly just a sore neck. But contrast that against an elite movement like the cable crunch. Now you're pulling against real weight, you're getting full extension at the top, and a massive contraction at the bottom. You can progressively overload it exactly like you would a bench press. Now, when it comes to lower ab builders like hanging leg raises, here is the ultimate secret. The real goal is to roll your spine. The problem is, 99% of people completely butcher this move. They turn it into a wild hip flexor swing contest, just swinging their legs like a pendulum. But to actually build the abs, you must achieve that little curl of your spine at the very top. That is where the muscle actually shortens and does the heavy lifting. If you can master that spinal roll, you instantly unlock the S-tier elite builders. Combine those strict hanging leg raises with Bruce Lee's signature move, the dragon flag. Even after 50 years, it remains one of the absolute hardest and most effective ab exercises on the planet. Your lats, glutes, legs, and core all fire together as one incredibly rigid unit. It overloads the abs so intensely that literally your soul feels like it's contracting. You can also easily upgrade mediocre exercises right into the A tier. Taking that terrible basic crunch we talked about and just putting your back over a Swiss ball instantly fixes the range of motion and stretch problem. The ab while is incredible because it forces your entire core to aggressively fight spinal extension. And the decline sit-up? That brings gravity against you and lets you hold a heavy plate to your chest, meaning you can keep progressing forever. Section 2, the minimalist routine. Stop overcomplicating. I absolutely love this analogy. Your abs are muscles, not Pokemon cards. You do not need to collect and perform every single exercise on the list to get maximum results. Banging out 10 different ab exercises in one workout is just junk volume. You really only need a couple of highly effective, targeted movements performed with absolute focus and intensity. So here's your straightforward minimalist blueprint. It's just 3 steps. Step 1, pick a main builder for heavy hypertrophy. Step 2, pick a lower ab movement. Step 3, pick a stability move. That's it. This targeted approach gives you maximum results, using only what actually matters, without draining all your energy for the rest of your workouts. And here is exactly what that looks like in practice. For your main builder, hit cable crunches, 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps, treating it like a real muscle builder. For the lower abs, jump into hanging leg raises for another 3 sets. Finish the whole thing off with a stability move, like the dragon flag or a hollow body hold, for 3 sets to failure. Do this focused routine 2 to 3 times a week. Stop putting your life on pause for endless circuits and start applying real progressive overload. Section 3, the body fat reality check. But here's the thing. You can follow that minimalist routine flawlessly, but there is one giant roadblock, and that's your body fat. Specifically, anything sitting at around 20% or higher. You can literally have the strongest, thickest core on planet Earth, but if your body fat is hovering at 20%, those muscles are going to remain completely invisible. Yeah, unfortunately, your perfectly built, elite-tier abs are probably just trapped out of sight, hiding underneath last night's snacks. This brutally honest fact proves that training your core with weights and biomechanics is only half the battle. If you want that superhero physique, you have to strip away the padding to actually let the artwork show. So, the final provocative thought I'll leave you with today is this. You now have the ultimate blueprint. You know exactly which exercises to toss out and which elite movements will actually build thick muscle. But the real question is, now that you know exactly how to build them, do you have the discipline in the kitchen to finally reveal them?